Student YO Universe.
Pinaka-latest sa pop culture trend.
Bringing the latest and the hottest trending topics. From the ultimate movers and shapers.
It's very interesting na ang daming nominations na nakuha ng The Artist.
To everything else under the sun.
I'm very excited kasi ito na yung Olympics eh.
We don't just listen to the student's voice, we amplify it.
Ayun po sa anti-planking law, parang sobrang lang yan. Kasi, diba?
Because it's not just the student's world, it's our universe. Student YO Universe.
It's the first
Ayan,
Friday
oo.
of November. Kaya nga this is going to be a fun-filled, very nostalgic episode for us
Tama
this
yan.
morning. Na medyo ma-i-relate pa rin natin sa mga recent na pangyayari.
Yes.
Pero first of all, let's open up the program real nicely. Ako si Nina.
At ako naman si Vince.
At ito,
ang Student YO Universe.
And as always, Student YO Universe is your one and only venue for some interactive, youthful, informative, and profound angle on anything and everything
Pop culture. At tama ka dyan, classmate Nina. Tayo nga ang nangunguna, wow, sa pagbibigay ng mga pop culture topics dito sa programa. Kaya naman, wag niyong kakalimutan na ipadala ang inyong iba't ibang komento at insights sa ating mga trending topics for today. Kaya ilista niyo na ito mga ka-universe. Sa Facebook ay pwede niyo hanapin ang www.facebook.com/studentyouniverse at pwede niyo i-post sa aming wall ang inyong comments about the program and our trending topics for today. Kung kayo naman ay mas active sa Twitter, ay pwede niyo i-tweet ng inyong comments sa program sa www.twitter.com/youniverse at pagkasyahin yan in 140 characters. At kung kayo naman ay visual at gusto makita yung mga official publicity material ng ating trending topics for today, ay pumunta lamang kayo sa aming official Instagram account. That's www.instagram.com/studentyouniverse at makikita yung mga selfie namin.
Yeah, and pwede nyo rin isend ang inyong mga photos with the YO Universal team tulad ng photo na kakakuha lang nitong ating avid fan na si Robert.
Oo. Mga submissions from fans, ganon.
Oo, kahit na yung tipong nagkakaproblema sa camera na subject is too dark, ganon.
Wow! At yon, huling-huli nga, kung meron kayo komento naman na sobrang haba at merong letter format, ay send nyo lamang yan sa aming official email account. That's studentyouniverse.gmail.com. Ayun na.
And pagkatanggap namin sa inyong mga comments, suggestions, at kung ano-ano pang mga insights tungkol sa aming trending topics for today, and as well as our other days on air, ay susubukan namin talagang basahin ang inyong mga comments.
Yes.
Kasi nga, your voice is our number one choice,
Tama.
and we want to make this as interactive as possible.
Tama ka dyan.
Kaya nga, ang ating susunod na segment ay inspired by the things na na-experience natin siguro when, a few years back,
Yes.
or even when we were younger. Pero for this one, medyo mas may recent flavor yung ibang bagay. Actually, pero may isang from early 2000s.
Titingnan natin ngayon yung meron tayong mga pop culture topics kasi na kailangan ng mas malalim na diskusyon, wow, at mas malalim na pag-uusap, kaya natin ginawa itong segment na ito. Ito ang #Flashback Friday. Ayun na nga.
Medyo ironic yung bed natin for yung music bed natin for today's topic.
Oo.
Kasi medyo ang topic natin ngayon sa #Flashback Friday ay shocking celebrity
Yes,
deaths.
at naman natin na isa nga to sa mga pinag-uusapan ng sambayanan at ng social media dahil nga dito sa mga nakakagulat na pagkamatay ng ating mga minamahal na celebrities. Ayan, and for today, meron tayong hinandang dalawang listahan, isang foreign at isang local. Ayan.
Napapansin ko yung mga shocking celebrity deaths sa foreign category natin medyo mas recent kaysa yung mga nasa local list natin.
Mamaya malalaman nila kung ano-ano yan.
Oo, pero siguro kasi yung kaya medyo recent yung mga celebrities na medyo recent yung pagkamatay ng mga celebrities na na-feature sa ating foreign list ay maybe because yung iba sa kanila they were in works that were part of our younger years, mga ganon.
And I think maganda rin sanang tingnan dito sa ating foreign list na ito ilan sa mga celebrities na to ay very active. Kaya kilala natin sila. In comparison to our local list na alam mo yon, really they are legacy pero hindi sila ganon ka-active bago sila mamatay.
Probably din because yung, di ba nga mas recent yung mga nandito sa list natin. With the exception of,
One.
na kasi yung iba, yung dito namatay in the age of yung new media. So, ayun. Pero, masyado na tayong nag-build
Nagtitiis
up.
sa ating mga ka-universe.
Oo, let's start with
Excited na.
our first celebrity on the list of shocking deaths.
At ito nga ay si Cory Monteith. Ayan na. So, Glee star Cory Monteith was found dead sa kanyang hotel room sa Vancouver, Canada. At siya ay namatay noong July 13, 2013 at the age of 31. Wow, very young. At alam ko, naalala ko last year na nasama natin siya sa ating worldwide trending topics para sa ating special episode nung Christmas, di ba? Christmas last year. Ayun. Fans and people na nakakilala kay Cory Monteith ay talagang na-shock sa kanyang pagkamatay at ang kanyang death ay naging trending topic agad online with 1.84 million mentions in 12 hours. At meron ding hashtag na RIP Cory Monteith na ginamit naman for 232 times in 12 hours din.
232,000 times.
Yes. Ano ba sinabi ko?
232. Yes, so, ayun. What else was Cory Monteith known for?
Ayun. So, si Cory Monteith nga ay nakilala sa American TV series na Glee at ang kanya at siya ay boyfriend ng kanyang co-star na si Lea Michele. Ayan. So, Glee produced a tribute episode entitled The Quarterback at dito ay feature yung mga songs na kinanta ni Monteith sa kanyang buong career doon sa Glee. At shortly after his death, Glee fans raised money to name a star. Wow. Parang tayo din.
Wow.
After Monteith and after being inspired by a scene featuring his character on Glee. Ayan na.
So, I guess kaya siya naging part ng Flashback Friday natin even though last year lang siya namatay.
Yes.
I mean kasi ang may isip natin kapag Flashback Friday is mas way back pa, 'di ba? Pero kasi Cory Monteith was in Glee, 'di ba?
Yes.
And it's a show that's been around since tayong mga college students since we were in high school.
Yes.
Oo. So, siguro dun yung pinaka-root ng attachment kay Cory Monteith.
Yes, and I remember kasi second year ako nung pinalabas yung Glee. And alam mo yun, it's one of those moments na alam mo yun, pino-form mo pa yung sarili mo, ganyan. And feeling ko some people or some teenagers were really affected by the character of Cory Monteith, which is Finn Hudson.
Oo. Tapos medyo may since di ba nabanggit mo na nagkaroon ng tribute episode ang Glee for Cory Monteith in which they sang all the songs that he did on the show.
Yes.
Na this tribute, like many other tributes, was nostalgic in nature. Na binalikan yung mga kanta niya dati, diba? Na kasi it's rare na yung pag-usapan talaga yung what's next. Kasi yun nga, binalikan yung mga moments, yung songs. Tapos as for the direction the show was going to take after that, they were still clueless.
Yes, actually after Cory Monteith's death, the show took a 1-month hiatus dahil hindi nga alam ni Ryan Murphy kung paano pa itutuloy yung storya ng Glee. Ayun.
Kasi nga may nagsabi na nostalgia is yung not looking back on the past, is more of yung a denial of the present.
And gusto rin kasi ni Ryan Murphy na paulit-ulit banggitin si Cory Monteith sa kanilang show kasi ayaw nga nilang makalimutan yung legacy at contribution ni Cory Monteith sa entertainment industry.
Now moving on from one actor to another, we have Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was most recently known for his role as Plutarch Heavensbee on the Hunger Games trilogy. And he was, aside from this, some people probably don't know na director and producer lang. Producer din siya. Na he worked in film and theater and tinawag pa siya ng New York Times na perhaps the most ambitious and widely admired American actor for his generation.
Well-deserved naman.
So, ngayong taon lang siya actually pumanaw and there were traces of illegal substances din sa scene of death. Tapos a syringe on his arm. So, medyo naging controversial nga talaga yung
pagkamatay.
Yeah. And hindi pa sila tapos i-film yung second part ng last film ng Hunger Games trilogy. So, there was some concern na paano yan, baka hindi na nang gagawin nila for the rest of the sequences. Pero ang nangyari, he had already finished filming most of his part for the film. So may mga shots lang na inalter nila yung composition para yung dapat kasama si Plutarch sa frame kasi may kinakausap siya. Yung mga kausap na lang niya, yung mga finocus.
Okay. At sabi pa nga, no, ay kailangan daw digitally recreate, no, yung si Hoffman sa ilang mga eksenang ito. Dahil nga very unexpected yung death niya, classmate Inina at mga ka-universe. At ito ay talagang kinonsider na isang malaking kawalan sa profession ng drama or acting, yun nga sa Hollywood.
Tapos gusto ko lang balikan din natin ng onti yung kanyang filmography sige. Sa kanyang tanang career. Kasi yung sinama natin siya sa Flashback Friday even though his death was recent. Pero kasi even though his death was recent, even though siguro sabihin na natin na sa younger generation, hindi siya ganun ka nostalgic for them kasi paano ba siya na reintroduce sa generation na to? It was through The Hunger Games.
At ano pa nga ang kanyang ibang mga pelikula?
Ayun, medyo mabagal yung ating internet dito sa station. So, I guess we can get back to
mamaya,
this later. Before we wrap up the list.
Or sa ating mga ka-universe, kung may alam kayong ibang pelikula ni Philip Seymour Hoffman, di ba? I-tweet nyo lamang sa amin yan sa @SYOUniverse. Pero mag-move on muna tayo kahit hindi natin kaya mag-move on sa Love Life. Wow!
Oh my gosh!
Hindi, ang susunod na nga ay si Princess Diana, or to be royally called as Diana, Princess of Wales. Wow.
So, paano ba ito nangyari? This was a long time ago.
Very long na. Noong August 31, 1997. So, I was 3 years old. Wow. And she died at the age of 36 in a car crash in Paris. And siya ang unang asawa ni Charles, Prince of Wales. But eventually, they divorced. Ayan. Princess Diana was the object of media scrutiny during and after their marriage kasi nga sinasabi ng mga tao na hindi daw masaya si Princess Diana doon sa kanyang marriage with Prince Charles.
And medyo unconventional din kung iisipin yung, or at least in the view of many, na yung pagiging part of the royal family niya kasi there were lots of royal functions na yung mas prioritize niya yung kanyang charity work and humanitarian work over these things. And being a mother, of course, to William and Harry, who were much younger back then, na for example, I remember my mom telling me this kasi she loves Diana. There was one time na may appointment siya, pero when she had to take, I don't know if it was William or Harry, pero one of them to the dentist, talagang kinansel niya lahat so she could go.
So inuna niya pa rin yung kanyang purpose, 'di ba?
As a mother.
Yes, as a mother. And tulad nga sinabi yung classmate Nina, kilala si Princess Diana sa kanyang charity work, sa kanyang compassion, style, charisma, and alam mo yon, kilalang kilala siya kaya ko to ng buong mundo doon sa kanyang mga characteristics na yon. At after her death naman, Princess Diana was considered as one of the most important people of the 20th century. At noong 2002 naman, Princess Diana was ranked 3rd on BBC's poll of the 100 greatest Britons. Ayun.
So, ayun, hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin mga conspiracy theories that revolve around Princess Diana's death. And that goes to show na talagang once you become some sort of cultural property, yung parang you don't, hindi ka nawawala kahit na mamatay ka. As opposed to, yung siguro if wala kang grounding as a person in the common consciousness, you just fade. Pero ito, parang your story still is trying to be your people are still trying to appropriate your story as their own kahit na wala ka na. Like ito nga, dinidiscuss pa rin si Diana even though she's gone.
And katulad nga ni Princess Diana, ang susunod naman sa ating listahan ay isa namang American comedian and actor na recently lang tayo. At ito ay si Robin Williams.
Yes.
So, siya isang American comedian and actor at namatay noong August 11, 2014. Ayan. Feeling ko siya, hindi. Totoo. Siya yung pinaka-recent na namatay sa ating listahan. At siya ay nakitang patay sa kanyang bahay sa California and he died at the age of 63. Sabi nga ng autopsy reports, Williams died because of asphyxia. Tama ba yung pagkakasabi ko? Ayan.
Asphyxia.
Asphyxia, yeah. Due to hanging himself. Ayun.
So, nag-issue ang publicist ni Robin Williams na he was battling severe depression. And the depression was brought about due to Parkinson's disease, allegedly. And what was chilling about it was the other day we bought a DVD of one of his old films with Robert De Niro, Awakenings, where Robert De Niro was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease by the doctor played by Robin Williams.
Oh my.
So, sobrang chilling lang.
Oo.
Diba?
Parang yung fictional life ay lumalapit at nagiging totoo.
So, does art imitate life or does life imitate art?
Whoa.
Oh.
Question of the day.
Grabe. So, ayun, there were several messages left for Robin Williams upon his death, and Broadway theaters dimmed their lights. Billy Crystal presented a tribute to Williams noong 66th Primetime Emmy Awards. Marami siyang nakamit na award nga noong kanyang buhay at sa kanyang career. He is a 4-time Oscar nominee, and noong isang film niya na Good Will Hunting, nanalo siya ng Academy Award as Best Actor.
Wow.
And he was active not only in television and in film, pero in theater din. So, ilan sa mga pinakasikat na films niya, bukod sa mga nabanggit natin na Awakenings and Good Will Hunting, ay Jumanji, Mrs. Doubtfire, Aladdin, and Dead Poets Society.
Ayun na. At napakarami pa niyang pelikula talaga.
Yes, 106 actually. And I remember the day after his death, which was my birthday.
Oh my.
Hindi ko sinasabi for vanity. Sinasabi ko lang for context dito sa sasabihin ko.
Yes.
Na kasi, sinasabi ko na yung I can definitely feel myself growing old today because my childhood just died with Robin Williams. Something along those lines. Kasi talagang yung even if you weren't aware of his other films, ang pinaka-entry point siguro ng generation na to ay yung kanyang work sa Aladdin. And it's interesting to note na kasi ginawang trilogy yun, diba? Dun sa part ng trilogy where dun sa film where he wasn't in the trilogy, the genie lost his powers.
Oh, okay.
Share lang. So,
nung wala siya sa trilogy. Okay.
Tapos, moving on from mga on-screen talents to the king of pop. Yes,
Punta
Michael
naman tayo sa
Jackson,
music.
who perished in 2009 because of yung, again, illegal substances that led to a cardiac arrest sa kanyang bahay. So, people really didn't expect this one coming kasi he had a series of concerts planned at the O2 Arena.
Yes, yung This Is It. Yun, diba?
And then, all of a sudden, sold out yun agad within seconds, I think.
Wow.
And then, all of a sudden, everything was canceled when he passed
died,
away. So, after his death, nagkaroon ng maraming issues such as yung legal battle over his children kasi yung diba it's well known na unconventional yung pag-conceive sa mga anak niya and yung properties niya kasi hindi naman ganun ka-healthy, completely healthy yung relationship within his family.
At yun, si Michael Jackson ay yung kanyang autopsy report ay dineclare as death as homicide, at yung public memorial service naman sa Staples Center was broadcasted live around the world. At ito nga si Michael Jackson ay kilala bilang singer and performer, hindi lang bilang part ng Jackson 5, gumawa rin siya ng kanyang sariling pangalan through his solo career.
For which he was known for songs like Black and White, Thriller, Man in the Mirror, Black or White, and a lot of others. And then, of course, he popularized the moonwalk. And marami pa siyang ibang kinontribute sa different fields of entertainment. Like yung Neverland Ranch, diba? And yung mga pangyayari sa buhay niya na, like for example, yung issue when he allegedly dangled his son over the balcony of his hotel room. Pero yung people were saying na he had some problems na yung parang he was to have threatened to throw his son over the balcony like that. Pero he appeared to only be playing in the clip.
Okay. Pero I think in general pwede natin tingnan yung effect talaga ni Michael Jackson sa pop culture history, di ba? Na alam mo yun, I think he is one of the artists na talagang ginagaya ng mga tao, di ba? Na alam mo yun, pinipilit nila mag-moonwalk, ganyan. Ayun.
And sobrang interesting kasi he was also the yung he was also someone known for not having enjoyed his childhood. Na it's so strange na we're commemorating him today in this very nostalgic topic pero he himself had not much to look back on.
Oh, okay. At mula naman sa ating listahan ng foreign ay pupunta naman tayo sa sa local scene at ang una nga sa ating listahan ay si Rico Yan. Ayan.
Yan, naging
Yan.
Sorry, hindi kasi naging matunog din ito yung
pagkamatay niya. It's very sudden.
I think that was the first celebrity death I ever remember being aware of.
Ayan, so Rico Yan was found dead sa kanyang hotel room sa isang resort sa Palawan at siya ay namatay noong March 29, 2002. Ang eksena dito no paano siya namatay ay yung kaibigan niya ay sinubukan siyang gisingin pero nalaman na lang niya na si Rico Yan pala ay hindi na magising at very stiff na yung kanyang katawan. And an estimated of 10,000 people attended this funeral rites in Manila and was also broadcasted live. Ayan.
That fact kind of bothers me. Kasi yung parang tulad nga ng sinasabi natin kanina na about yung kay Princess Diana, yung how people still try to appropriate her story as belonging to them. But by the very fact na namatay na nga siya, pinag-uusapan pa lang, pinag-uusapan pa rin as if it were everyone's business to discuss. Tapos ito naman, yung talagang something na would usually be very private, talagang broadcast.
And katulad nga nung Michael Jackson na meron ding broadcast live. And alam mo yon, nandito mo makikita these celebrities hanggang sa kanilang pagkamatay, alam mo yon, hindi pa rin natin ma-distinguish yung line between public and private lives. Ayun, kilala nga si Rico Yan sa kanyang mga commercial stints, no? At sa mga pelikula niya na Gimmick, Mula sa Puso, and Got to Believe. Ayun.
So, ang isa pang major Filipino celebrity na ikinagulat ng karamihan ng pagkamatay niya ay si Fernando Poe Jr., also known as FPJ. Kinilala siya bilang King of Philippine Cinema and from then when he was alive until now, there are several who still consider his films the best. So, on December 11, 2004, na-admit siya sa St. Luke's Medical Center nung nahilo siya and from stroke to coma hanggang sa binawian na nga siya ng buhay. He died at the age of 65 and his 9-day wake was allegedly attended by 2 million people.
Wow.
And
2 million.
2 million people, and it's so strange when you consider na karamihan dito, they were people who knew him through the screen and not
really in his personal life.
Oo.
Ayun during his 50-year career, FPJ or Fernando Poe Jr. was able to do more than 100 films. Well, almost the same with Robin Williams, no? And most of them were action films. Doon nga siya nakilala talaga. And long sideburns were often associated to FPJ. Totoo naman, di ba? Kasi kadalasan, kapag ginagaya si FPJ, ay yung kanyang long sideburns talaga yung kadalasan na nilalagay na feature para makilala or ma-identify na si FPJ. And, yung mga character naman niya sa kanyang mga pelikula ay kadalasang people's hero. Katulad sa mga pelikulang Ang Panday, Isang Bala Ka Lang. And itong last film na nakalista dito ay very cute tong film na to. Kasi ito yung kasama niya si Judy Ann Santos, di ba? Yung isusumbong kita sa tatay ko.
I remember this. Diba? I remember this. Na yung sila yung father-daughter tandem back then. And another reason kung bakit naging matunog ang pagkamatay ni Fernando Poe Jr. ay it was in the same year na he lost the presidential elections. And his death was famously blamed on the whole politics issue, in the whole political side of his life na it took its toll on him, ganun, diba? Tapos, since nabanggit mo ang filmography ni FPJ briefly, eto lang, babalikan lang natin sandali.
Flashback.
Yes, wow. Oh my God, flashbackception. ang ilang mga naging pelikula ni Philip Seymour Hoffman, including The Big Lebowski, Patch Adams, ano pa ba to? Mission Impossible 3, Mary and Max, The Ides of March, The Invention of Lying. Ayun, ang dami.
And ayun,
From 1991 to 2015, And ayun,
Years
mayroon
of
din siyang
Active, no? Yun, 1991.
and meron din siyang mahabang yung theater credits.
Wow. So, ayun, no, I think maganda na nasabi mo yung classmate Nina kasi kaya natin diniscuss itong shocking celebrity deaths ay dahil nga sa kanilang contribution sa movie industry or entertainment industry in general at yung kung ano yung naging epekto ng kanilang pagkamatay. 'Di ba? Kung nakaiwan ba sila ng legacy at kung nakaapekto ba to sa maraming tao.
Yung how fandom interacts not only with the existence of person in the field of pop culture but also in the non-existence of a person kasi nga namatay na eh.
Yes.
And ayun nga, these were some of the people whose earlier works in the entertainment industry have helped lay the foundation. Well, lalo na yung mga mas matatanda dito sa list. They've helped lay the foundation for pop culture which of course have led to the pop culture of today.
And sa tingin ko kaya tayo mayroong factor ng shock sa kanila pagkamatay dahil meron tayong idea ng perfection, 'di ba? Sa entertainment industry na kailangan itong mga celebrities na to ay perfect pero kapag sila ay namatay, alam mo 'yun?
They're no longer perfect.
Yes, oo. It makes them very vulnerable to our eyes.
Especially since ang daming mga sikreto na lumalabas
kapag
during
namatay
death.
Sila, oo.
Lalo na pag yung source of death ay yung medyo controversial.
Yes.
Oo. So, yun ang ating naging topic for today's #Flashback Friday. And kung sa mga susunod na #Flashback Friday ay may gusto pa rin kayong isama na siguro these things remind you of your childhood or kahit specific na icon in your childhood sa mundo ng pop culture, ay i-tweet nyo lang sa @SYOUniverse with the #Flashback
Yes, susubukan namin yung gawing topic dito sa ating segment, diba? Na every first Friday.
Yes, pero for now ay ang ibang topic na pag-uusapan natin ay ang mga recent
trending topics.
Trending topics in pop culture na ating babalikan mamaya dito sa
Student YO Universe.
Student YO Universe.
Ang DZUP 1602 ay kasapi ng KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Sa DZUP 1602, kasali ka! Welcome back mga classmates dito sa nag-iisang favorite nyong hot pop culture trending topic program every Friday morning. Ang haba. Ito, ang Student YO Universe. Ako si Nina.
At ako naman si Vince.
And moving from our #Flashback Friday segment, we are going to our list of trending topics this week. And before that, ay alamin natin ang proseso kung paano natin nakukuha ang mga trending topics na to every week.
On Student YO Universe, we go deeper into what's hot, what's happening, and what matters to the youth. The YO Universal team is composed of 15 students who pull together recent pop culture news from the most relevant websites and choose the top 5 most talked about topics online. Our universe revolves around your voice because your voice is our number one choice.
Ayun na, narinig nyo na ang ating mga pinanggagalingan ng ating trending topics for this week. At every week.
Sources that are constantly updated and credible to make sure na we only discuss yung kung ano ang latest.
What's hot, what's happening.
Yeah.
Ginamit yung sa spew.
What's latest talaga sa pop culture. So, simulan na natin ang ating discussion for this week starting with
Number 3. At number 3, Benedict Cumberbatch is now engaged. Ayan.
And ang article na to ay nanggagaling sa The Guardian straight from the UK. O, diba?
Wow.
So, actor Benedict Cumberbatch is now engaged to his girlfriend, director Sophie Hunter. Ito ay nalaman ng publiko gamit ang isang very, very simple newspaper announcement na kung
very royal yung treatment.
Oo, na talagang in-announce lang sa isang very small box, sa isang column in newspaper na na-engage na nga si Benedict Cumberbatch and Sophie Hunter. Yung tipong parang kapag ina-announce sa dulo ng Mass for Catholics, yung ikakasal doon sa...
Ganito yung treatment.
So, this is notable kasi low profile na nga yung engagement, yung relationship nila, at tas naging low profile pa yung announcement ng kanilang engagement. Na-confirm nga lang sila as a couple noong nakita sila in photos together sa French Open.
Ayun.
So, noong nalaman ng netizens ang balitang ito, biglang nag-trend na naman si Benedict Cumberbatch sa Twitter.
As if hindi siya nagtitrend palagi.
So, nung ang nangyari ay parang naging royal wedding levels ang pag-regard ng mga fans niya dito sa news na to. This is because Benedict Cumberbatch has enjoyed a very dedicated, very active fan base whose name we cannot mention on air. Oo, basta halos ka consonants ng name niya. So, so maraming na-shock, maraming siguro upset kasi nga most of his fans are females na attract sa kanyang, hindi lang sa kanyang looks pero sa pag-portray niya ng characters na brainy, 'di ba?
Nasabi mo na very yung population ng kanyang fans ay composed of mostly female, pero I think maganda tingnan dito na hindi naman threatening. Wow. yung pagiging upset nila dahil nalungkot lang sila na hindi na available si Benedict Cumberbatch para maging asawa nila.
So it's not like the usual reaction of fans na ikakasal na yung celebrity na yung let's kill that.
Yeah. Hindi
Walang
nila
ganun.
in-attack si Sophie Hunter.
Wow, that's nice.
Oo, yun nga yung kakaiba dito eh.
Oo, so while Benedict Cumberbatch has been known for his role as Sherlock and then yung other films na rin niya as Khan, and then he's being considered for the lead role in, I think, Doctor Strange. Tama
Yes,
ba?
sa listahan. Last week sinabi natin, di ba?
Yes.
Doon sa roster ng films ng Marvel.
Na hindi pa confirmed, pero we could say na part of yung reason kung bakit siya consider for the role is because of his because of his fan base.
Oo. At alam naman natin dito sa Student YO Universe kung gaano ka-powerful talaga ang kapangyarihan ng mga fandoms.
Na yung kung kanina na pag-usapan natin yung how these fans get involved in not just the life but also in the death of their
idols.
Ay nai-involved din sila dito sa yung mga romantic decisions, 'di ba? Na napaisip tuloy ako na yung how have announcements been kapag ang ikakasal ay female celebrity compared to male celebrity? Do you see any difference na I mean, do you see any difference in the fans na paano nagre-react yung mga yung mga fans of female celebrities versus fans of male celebrities?
Well, for me, yung fans ng female celebrities, kapag merong silang idol na in-engage, feeling ko mas nakikita nila yon as the perfect fairy tale story. Na alam mo yun, at one point in your life, you're gonna find your Prince Charming, ganyan. Pero ito naman, kapag male celebrity naman yung pinakasal, parang mas tinitingnan nila to as a true bondage, ganyan. True bond between those two people, ganyan.
So, parang for you, mas nakikita nila yung love kapag kapag male celebrity ang na-engage. Tas pag female celebrity, parang the idea is yung parang na-objectify ang love.
At saka parang parang yung babae, you've been destined to find this man. Na parang alam mo yun, wala na siyang parang perfect fairy tale story.
Tas mapapansin mo pa na ang dami sa mga engagements na to, ang parang medyo dichotomous ang reaction ng mga tao dito eh. It's either bagay sila or ay sana naghanap na lang siya ng iba.
Ayun. And dito nga sa natin na to, makikita din natin yung power nga ng fans ni Benedict Cumberbatch na alam mo yun, sa tingin mo ba naiisip ni Benedict Cumberbatch before he makes his decisions na kung ano yung tingin ng kanyang fans?
I think that is a pressure that is present not just yung when you're going to make a big announcement, a big decision like this, pero it's constantly present pressure na to keep up with how your fans see you, how fans expect you to be like. Pero in some cases, you really don't care anymore na parang sinasabi ko to as if parang viewpoint ko rin, no? Pero
why not? Wow.
Yung as a person, ideally, yung notion mo talaga is yung I shouldn't care, diba? Pero the sad reality is yung part of your job requirement is to care. yung how marketable you are.
Yes, and di ba nga dito sa ating isa pang programa sa Boses ng Estudyante Strip, yung ikaw naman, di ba? Yung kanilang In the Spotlight for this week ay lahat ba ng bagay kailangan may dahilan. And I think dito mapoprove na lahat naman ng mga bagay talaga na ginagawa natin sa buhay ay may dahilan.
Oo, whether ina-acknowledge mo or not, kahit sabihin mo na wala lang, at the back of your mind, your subconscious is still working.
Oo, and I think yun nga, naka-apekto yun sa decisions ni Benedict Cumberbatch and how he treated his engagement with Sophie Hunter.
And that goes for everyone kasi we really cannot avoid yung some basis for our actions.
Ayun
wow,
na.
ang layo nang napunta natin.
Pero congratulations, di ba?
Yeah, best wishes to them, and yung let's not let this be the property of the fandom. Yun.
Yes, have your own enjoyment, ganyan.
Whoa. Okay. So from this hindi man siya masyadong polarizing, pero some people are probably yung still feeling mixed about this. Let's go now to something na medyo
comic, medyo nakakatawa.
Medyo hindi ko siya naiintindihan kung paano siya nangyari,
sige,
pero
sige.
it happened. That's the power of social media nowadays. Ito ang number 2.
Number 2.
At number 2, #Alex from Target trends on Twitter. Pero sino nga ba si Alex?
Ayan, si Alex from Target po ay ako. Joke.
Uy, oh my God.
Hindi, joke lang. Social media, once again, proved its power, na pagbibigay ng, quick and sudden popularity sa mga normal na tao, katulad natin, ganyan. So, if you're a Twitter user, siguro naman na nakita nyo na sa ating trending topics list ng Twitter, yung, yung pangalan ni #Alex from Target. At ito nga ibinigay sa isang American teenager na si Alex Christopher Leboff. Tama ba yung pagkakasabi ko?
I think so.
Who quickly rose to global fame because of a viral Twitter hashtag. At nagsimula nga ito doon sa pag-post ng isang Twitter user ng kanyang photo habang nagbabag ng groceries sa isang supermarket. At ayun, kumalat ito agad at yung angle ng photo ay nasa baba, ganyan. And
paparazzi shot.
Oo, paparazzi shot talaga. At hindi alam ni Alex from Target na kinunan siya. So on November 2nd, ayun pala yung pangalan niya. At a AUS column tweeted a picture of Alex and pinakita nga dito yung kanyang pagbabagi ng groceries at ito ay nag-gain agad ng 1,000 retweets and 2,000 favorites in 24 hours.
And as usual, ang napansin na naman dito na kung bakit nag-garner ng ganito kalaking attention ang photo ni Alex at ang accompanying hashtag ay dahil di umano sa kanyang charming, unassuming look na parang candid shot siya pero people find him to be good looking still.
Yes. And isa nga sa mga nagpakalat ng popularity ni Alex ay yung mga memes and yung mga pinoposts sa Twitter, Tumblr at Vine. At pinapakita dito na inaalis yung pagbabag niya ng groceries doon sa context. At parang alam mo yun, yung mga post dito ay sinasabi na while he is bagging my groceries, he took my heart. Yung mga ganun.
Yung he was there to bag my groceries when no one else was. Ganun. So talagang yung it's not something new. Kasi nakita na natin to dati yung how people take someone na ay supposedly ay sobrang mundane lang na yung may like they're just running a marathon like yung ridiculously photogenic guy
or yung committed a crime tas may mugshot biglang popular.
Tas biglang iba na yung context ng photo na imbes na it's someone doing their own thing.
Their own job, di ba?
Oo. Yung napunta na sila sa public consciousness, naging property na sila.
And recently nga, classmate Nina at mga ka-universe, Ellen DeGeneres tuloy. Alex guested on Ellen DeGeneres and sinabi niya nga doon sa interview na yon na he was very shocked with the sudden fame and popularity at hindi niya daw alam kung paano mag-react at kung anong sasabihin sa kanya mga newly found fans. So, yun talaga. And sinabi nga ni Ellen kung meron daw ba siyang talents. Ang sabi niya, I guess I'm good in bagging grocery items.
So, sobrang ang isa ko pang yung naisip dito kasi nga 'di ba nabanggit natin yung taking things out of context na we studied this yesterday in one of my majors sa political economy na yung the photos, the new appreciation of the photos could be seen as hyper reality as theorized by Baudrillard na kung saan what we see, even though it is a representation of what is supposedly real, yung you can't take away the fact na what's in it is no longer real. Kasi unang-una, yung image, yung picture ni Alex is just a replica of what he was doing.
Yes.
Tapos bukod sa hindi na yun si Alex mismo yung nandun sa Twitter, it's just his photo. Pati yung reality of how Alex is as a person, how he's perceived, it's been altered na into a different reality na kinonstruct ng mga tao by yung retweeting and editing his photos na as an internet sensation, a sudden internet sensation.
And I think maganda rin to i-align doon sa iba pang mga no? Kasi dito sa pagkasikat ni Alex ay lumabas din yung iba't ibang quote-unquote good-looking good-looking workers from other brands as well. Na alam mo yun, pinapakita nila na it's not just Alex from Target. Parang Alex is just the guy na alam mo yun, in the right moment and in the right time. Na may kumuha ng picture niya.
So talagang pop culture finds itself everywhere. Na yung kahit na sobrang hindi naman talaga dapat yung kino-consume ng public yung kung ano yung nangyayari. Yung as long as it appeals to taste, as long as you can make meaning out of it, it's something that you can share and then nagkakaroon na ng parang following. Actually, you can make meaning out of so many things.
Yes.
Pero mapapansin din natin na what do people choose to make meaning out of? It's the people who are good-looking.
And dun nga sa mga good-looking na yun, sila ay nagsumisikat sa social media. And for me, social media can really take ownership of someone's life once it's sucked in inside the World Wide Web.
Kaya nga, 'di ba, yung may problema on copyright and ownership sa internet kasi yung you can say na a work is yours pero once it's posted on the internet, it's so easy to
be replicated, 'di ba?
It's so easy to take that away na yung okay. So, it's so easy to take that away na hindi na natin alam kung paano siya ipaglalaban yung ownership na yun.
And I think mamaya sa ating number 1 trending topic, ay mabibring up din natin yung topic na yan.
Yung through ownership na, I actually am really interested in this topic kasi we can relate it to something that happened din on the internet a few months ago, mga bandang August. Yes, so for now, we are leaving off our number 2 and number 3 topics. Sa pagbabalik natin ay may i-discuss naman tayo about music. So abangan nyo yan mamaya sa pagbabalik ng Student YO Universe.
Student YO Universe.
Ang DZUP 1602 ay kasapi ng KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Sa DZUP 1602, kasali ka!
It's time for our last segment dito sa nag-iisa yung favorite pop culture program every Friday morning. Ito ang Student YO Universe. Ako si Nina.
At ako naman si Vince.
And throughout the program, we have had this wide range of topics, starting with our hashtag Flashback Fridays, shocking celebrity deaths.
Yes, at ating trending topics for this week, ang una nga ay ang ating number 3, Benedict Cumberbatch is now engaged.
And at number 2, hashtag Alex from Target goes viral worldwide.
And now we have reached the most important part of the episode. Ito na.
Ang ating
number
ang ating huling topic for the day. Ito ang number 1.
At number 1, Taylor Swift pulled out her song at on Spotify. Ayun na.
So, ang Spotify nga ay isang music sharing site with its own app kung saan people have been enjoying yung streaming their songs from their favorite artists all over the world, diba? Pero everyone got shocked when Taylor Swift's entire catalog of music was yanked from the Spotify streaming service noong request ito ni Taylor Swift na binawi na niya ang kanyang consent na ma-feature sa Spotify ang kanyang songs. So ito ay nangyari noong Monday, November 3, and in a post sa blog ng Spotify, sinabi nila they regret Taylor Swift's move and they hope na Miss Swift would change her mind. We love Taylor Swift and our more than 40 million users love her even more. Nearly 16 million of them have played her songs in the last 30 days and naka-feature siya sa about 19 million playlists.
Wow. And wait lang segue ka lang.
Okay.
Medyo natatakot ako magsabi ng mga bagay kay Taylor Swift dahil nandito sa studio si classmate Andy. At siya ay isang talaga fan ni Taylor Swift.
Huge Taylor Swift fan. Actually, maski ang ating YO Universal team member na si Christian na ay very ay follower din ni Taylor Swift. Although wala naman siyang nagagawa or ginagawa kapag binabadmouth mo.
Ako talaga.
Ikaw lang talaga. Si Taylor Swift kasi nandun siya sa kabilang booth. Pero anyway, some people see this as a strategic move kasi, di ba, kare-release lang ng latest album ni Taylor Swift na 1989. Yes.
At ito yung album niya yun ay consider as one of the most one of the most sold out albums since 2002 ni Eminem. So alam mo yun, talagang groundbreaking yung pag-release ni Taylor Swift ng kanyang album. And ayun, nakagulat nga sa kanyang mga fans na inalis niya yung kanyang songs doon sa streaming website.
Tapos yung 1989 naman mismo ay request nila several months ago na sa Spotify ay maging available lang ang 1989 outside the US. So, pag Spotify user ka, pero sa US ka, you can't listen to the songs through the service. You can only listen to the songs through the service if you're from another country. So, what this reminds me of, yung from the streaming service to yung people having their works pulled out of this readily enjoyable space. It reminds me of noong August when the Cinemalaya films were uploaded to YouTube without the filmmaker's knowledge. Tapos pina-pull out ng mga filmmakers yung kanilang mga gawa sa YouTube. Na in this case, may agreement naman talaga yung filmmakers with Cinemalaya to have their films released online pero on a pay-per-view basis. Kaya sila na upset. And then here is Taylor Swift na she's kind of doing the same thing na may consent naman previously na nasa Spotify yung songs niya pero pinull out niya bigla. And this is, people see this as due to the release of 1989. Yung mas...
Pati yung sales.
Para mas ma-encourage yung sales elsewhere. Diba?
Elsewhere tuloy. May naalala kong word sa elsewhere. Yung ceremony to elsewhere. Yung sa The Giver. Okay. Anyway. So, ayun nga. For me kasi, di ba, like any form of art, it should bring everyone together. And I think when you do this, naaalisin mo yung songs mo sa isang streaming service na na-access ng kahit sino. It creates a division. Na alam mo yun, medyo nawawala yung purpose ng art.
Well, yung for me, yung one of the purposes of yung nakikita ko talagang pinaka-purpose ng art is yung the enlightenment, the awakening it brings. Like, noong State of the Nation address na nag-cover tayo dito sa DZUP ng mga pangyayari, may mga nakita kaming pictures of yung different social issues ng isang multimedia artist group na sobrang ganda ng photos pero more than that, they send a real message talaga. So, I think yung function ng art to bring people together, yung it's a different form of art na kasi I guess there's yung division din of the kind of art that we consume, diba? Na may mga kinds of art we consume na sasabihing mas high culture, tas may mga forms of art na sasabihing lower culture.
And si Taylor Swift kasi, alam mo yun, yung popularity niya, it's highly driven by her fans na kung ikaw aalisin mo yung music mo na alam mo yun, yung fans na nagdala sa iyo kung nasaan ka ngayon, kung nasaan ka ngayon sa iyong popularity level, ay tinatanggalan mo sila ng power to actually enjoy your music.
So, yun yung I think it comes into play here again yung how fandom yung sustains itself na yun nga it sustains itself through interaction with the media text of the creator of the media text, yung through consumption. Tas yung it's not supposed to it's not something that would easily stop just because it's no longer available on something. Fans will always find a way. And clarify ko lang kanina yung the labels of higher culture and lower culture, they're applied in studies talaga about fandom na there's a division talaga yung how art is consumed. And in this case, this is yung Taylor Swift belongs to the popular side of yung culture, of pop culture. Kaya nga to nasa Student YO universe. So, this is something na fans will actively reach out for talaga.
And ayun nga, no, meron ditong insight sa studio from a fan, mas classmate Andy nga, no, na nirespect naman daw niya yung decision ni Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad decision
to pull out
naman.
her song. So,
personally, I don't think it's a bad decision naman.
pero yung effect kasi, well, sige pa, ipaglaban ko pa.
Yes, well, I think for this discussion, we could leave it to the fans. Now, what do they think of their idol songs being available not on Spotify anymore but elsewhere?
Yes.
So, this is something na we could explore more yung off-air. So, for now, that's all the time we have today dito sa ating programa na napahaba na naman ang diskusyon natin. Ang Student YO Universe ay hatid sa inyo ng DZUP Radio Circle, the only org that goes on air at nang himpilang ito, DZUP 1602, Kasali Ka. Muli, ako si classmate Nina.
At ako naman si Vince.
At ito,
ang Student YO Universe, where your voice is our number one choice.
Student YO Universe.
Pinaka-latest sa pop culture trend.
Bringing the latest and the hottest trending topics. From the ultimate movers and shapers
It's very interesting na ang daming nominations na nakuha ng The Artist.
to everything else under the sun.
I'm very excited kasi ito na yung Olympics eh.
We don't just listen to the student's voice, we amplify it.
Ayun po sa anti-planking law, parang sobrang lang yan. Kasi, di ba?
Because it's not just a student's world, it's our universe. Student YO Universe.